Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. Well, it's time now to review headlines on today's newspapers with the Ombudsman of This Day and Arise Media Group and This Day Newspapers Limited Group Executive Director Kayode Komolafe. Good morning, Mr. KK. Thank you for joining us on Newspaper Review.
Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, KK.
Good morning, Adesua, and good morning, Sheitan.
Good morning, Mr. KK.
Thank you. Let's dive into it, KK. We'll start, as always, with This Day on Sunday, and we take it from top to bottom very quickly. Gbajabiamila, that's him talking. Tinubu determined to resolve power supply shortfall, energy theft, estimated billing. KK, I believe that this is coming at a time that social media has brought back many of the video clips during campaign that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu made promises about the fact that whatever needs to be done, there must be electricity supply, and that, you know, it will work on it. And this is also coming, Gbajabiamila's giving hope kind of talk is coming at a time that the Minister of Power, Bayo Adelabu, is saying that every other West African countries, even poorer people, pay double what Nigerians pay, and that we can't afford to go on with what we have. He's not talking about so much about the fact that we can't even see what we are paying for, but here he's advocating for more money, for more tariffs to go up. Below that, Obi, it's reckless, insensitive to Nigerians for OAGF, that's the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, to hold workshop in the UK. I think, Genix, you carried that in trending news during the week about that insensitive holding of workshop in the UK by the Office of the
Yes, we did, and they were giving some flimsy excuses as to why.
I mean, there will always be an excuse. Other stories, service disruption. Repair works have commenced on undersea cable cords, says NCC. Everybody is talking 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe 5 weeks before sanity can return to the internet connections. Labour Party, NLC fight dirty over scheduled national convention, call for Abure Ajero's resignation. Labour Party is still in the eye of the storm, and it looks like many obedience are saying, do we even need this platform at all? Why can't we go it all alone? And now to the main story, the lead of the day, which, by the way, as you know, is on the cover of every newspaper of today. CDS this day reports orders manhunt for killers of Lieutenant Colonel, 2 majors, captain, 12 soldiers in Delta. Oberewori condemns killings, condones military families of victims. Dafinone, Falano, AANI, and Huriwa demand probe. That is the news of the day, KK. And I think that we can stop there, maybe other than to quickly add budget padding controversy. ACF, Arewa Consultative Forum, kicks against Ningi's suspension. So the key story, KK, is the dastardly act, the killing of the soldiers in Delta State, 16 gallant officers ambushed and killed in cold blood. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, that is correct, Steve. The horrific event in Delta State at the weekend is the story of the day, and like you rightly said, it's on the front pages of all the newspapers. But first, in all this, I think we must look at the element of humanity in it before, and that is that these people died, yes, professionally they were soldiers, but also they were fathers, sons, uncles, friends, and colleagues of other people. So a lot of families are bereaved at the moment. So our hearts should go to the bereaved families, while we say that may their souls, rest in peace. Now, beyond condolences, between how to deal with the situation, just like Major Mohammed Garma said earlier, on the show, we should be the government, should be the government and also the military, should handle the matter, carefully, because, like I said, a soldier is always a soldier. That's the element of solidarity, and that's precisely that one. It should be handled in such a way that it does not demoralize the troops, and at the same time that we don't create multiple tragedies what has happened is horrific, it's tragic, but if it is mishandled, it will create more tragedies, and that is why people are referring to the throwback to OD massacre, the event in Zakibiam, that there should be no collective punishment, or if you like, we should not apply the Netanyahu doctrine that because you are looking for those who have offended, then you destroy, all communities, and that is the defense authority should act fast, and ensure that these people are the perpetrators of this crime, this heinous crime, should be arrested and should be punished according to the law. That is very important, and then the other operational lessons, should be drawn, from it. It's really a national calamity, and it should be treated, as such. The other important story I pointed out in the window of on the window of this day is the power story.
Yes.
Yeah, quite correct. I mean, people are quite correct to refer to the campaign and what the president said, and I think one of the famous sound bites, of President Tinubu, I mean, then as a candidate Tinubu, which we should always remind, was that he said that perhaps in the last 1 century or more, that the most important invention mankind has made is electricity. And I think he's quite correct that because other developments, technology or whatever, will be meaningless without power, without electricity. So that shows that if an administration can only tackle the power question, then such an administration will be leaving behind a great legacy. Especially when you remember that since 1999, the successive administration, have each, had to quote and unquote do something, about the power question. And I think it was President Jonathan who, in 2013, perhaps took the most decisive step, of actually privatizing, aspect of the power sector. Now, for anybody who's managing the economy, I think the job is well cut out for the administration, to do something about power sector. And quickly, I think I agree completely with Mr. Obi, on this outrageous report.
The London workshop.
People going to a workshop to have a workshop that you take Nigerians, to London to go and have a workshop. I mean, that does not just make any meaning. And I think that, in this age, when we are talking of cutting costs, we're talking of austerity, really. In fact, actually, the campaign, in fact, the correct word for it is austerity,
Yes.
Mode that you put in the nation in austerity mode. I think it's quite unacceptable, and I think officially, the administration should find out the truth of what happened, and sanctions should be applied, where applicable.
All right, I think we should go to This Day Style very quickly.
Yes, let's pull up This Day Style. This Day Style is still celebrating International Women's Day, and as part of that celebration, they've highlighted 8 women Afrexim Bank's female leadership driving change. They all sat with Funke Babs Kufeji, and they talked about their pioneering initiatives and perspectives on women's evolving role in finance and global trade. We have Gwen Mwaba, who is the Director and Global Head Trade Finance, Maureen Mba, Head of MAMSA Initiative, Hayan Arab, Director Credit Assessment, Marwa Turk, Head of Financial Control at Afrexim, Kanayo Awani, who is the Executive Vice President at Afrexim, Helen Brume, who is the Director Projects and Assets-Based Finance, and then we have Anne Eze, who is the Director of Communications and Events, and Oluranti Dorothy, Director of Export Development. All these women are amazing, and they are driving positive change in the banking industry. Congratulations to all of them for making the cover. Unfortunately, we don't have much time.
We haven't got much time, but very quickly, KK, let's look at just 2 stories in Sunday Telegraph. First will be the one about danger looms at UCH as IBDC disconnects light again. I think, again, this ties with the issue of light and power that we are talking about, given the fact that the Olubadan of Ibadan, just passed on a couple of days ago after, visiting, after being admitted at the UCH himself. But here we are, light not available at the UCH. And the other story will be the one on the window. Readers will have it on page 5 of today's Sunday Telegraph. Iwanyawo, why the Igbo aren't happy with Nigeria? We had the privilege of having Chief Iwanyawo on the show yesterday, and he spoke extensively about this very issue, why the Igbos aren't happy with Nigeria, even though he's offering olive branch that they are ready, even though they didn't vote for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but they are ready to work for him and support him if he will listen to them. Very quickly, KK, sir. Yeah,
on the first one, I think what Shihoya is saying, is a reminder of what is obvious, that the pursuit of national integration should be part of the agenda of any administration. That the question of national unity, what the mood, in the Southeast, actually shows that it's not a thing that should be taken for granted. So there has to be a conscious, political effort, on the part of leadership, and also, the followership as well to pursue national integration, by actually taking, concrete steps, in terms of policies, in terms of, politics too, the way politics is playing, to have it. What happened at Ibadan, in the hospital, again, it only reinforces, the argument, about the centrality of power, the question of, energy into economic management. That there is no sector in which you can make progress if you don't resolve the power question.
Yes.
And that is why, that should be taken, seriously, by the administration, especially the Ministry of Power.
All right, thank you very much, KK. I mean, it's a short one today, but we do promise you that next week you will have your full 30 minutes. And of course, we are always very grateful for your insightful analysis.
Thank you very much.
That brings us to the end of the morning show today. Thank you for watching, and do stay safe. I'm Steve Ayorinde.
Thank you for sticking with us. I'm Adeswa Giwa Osage. And I'm Sheito Atigari.
Well, goodbye. I'm Oji Okwe. For my entire team here in Lagos, Nigeria, enjoy the rest of your morning and, of course, the rest of your day. Bye.